Okay, so get this. Today's deep dive, it's a doozy. We're talking, well, it's a story, a fictional one, actually, from a TV show.
A science fiction show, to be precise. One that, and you hinted at this, really digs under your skin, sticks with you.
Big time. And, you know, we usually delve into real-life mysteries, conspiracies, that sort of thing. But this episode, it's like it tapped into something primal, something universally creepy, even though it's made up.
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to unpack it, see what makes it tick. Because on the surface, you've got this seemingly simple premise, right? A missing person in a small town. But as we dig deeper, we uncover layers of unsettling events, ancient practices, things that, well, they just make you question what's lurking beneath the surface of everyday life.
I'm all in. So where are we headed this time, and what's the source material?
Well, buckle up, because we're going to Dudley, Arkansas. Population, small, and the source. It's an episode titled Our Town from, well, I bet you can guess.
Oh, come on, spill the beans.
All right. It's from the X-Files. Mulder, Scully, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, that makes sense. Always love their creepy small-town episodes. So, Dudley, Arkansas, what happens there?
It all starts with the disappearance of a guy named George Kearns, a poultry inspector for the USDA. He's out late one night, meeting a much younger woman, Paula Gray, out in the woods. Not exactly a typical day night, is it?
No, definitely not your usual meet cute. What happens next?
Things take a turn for the worse, really fast. Kearns has a seizure, takes some pills, and then he keeps following Paula deeper into the woods. And then what? Does anyone else see them? This is where it gets weird. Kearns is last seen encountering this circle of strange lights and then attacked by a masked figure. An axe-wielding masked figure, no less.
Wow, that escalated quickly. Sounds like a slasher flick. So how do Mulder and Scully get involved?
Two things draw their attention. One, there was a report of foxfire near Dudley around the time Kearns vanished.
Foxfire, the glowing fungi, what's that got to do with anything?
Well, Mulder connects it to another odd event. A disturbed guy named Creighton Jones was found wandering near Dudley, babbling about fire spirits and claiming he's missing a pound of flesh after being near the town.
Okay, now that's creepy. So they think something supernatural is going on.
At least Mulder does. When they arrive at the reported foxfire site, they find a burnt clearing and a witch's peg.
A witch's peg? What's that?
It's like a wooden peg hammered into the ground. In folklore, they are often associated with marking spots for rituals, like witchcraft stuff.
So is that why the sheriff, what was his name? Aarons?
Sheriff Aarons, yeah. He tries to play it down, says it's just illegal trash burning.
Mm-hmm.
But something feels off, right?
For sure. And what about Kearns' wife? Was she interviewed?
Yeah, Doris Kearns. But her reaction is strange. She's not really that distraught, more like she's nervous, hiding something. And she denies knowing anything about Kearns' report on health violations at the Chaco Chicken plant.
Chaco Chicken. Is that important?
Turns out, it's the town's main employer. And Paula Gray, the woman Kearns was with, she works there.
So naturally, Mulder and Scully head to the plant, right?
Right. They talk to the shift manager, Jess Harold, who tries to paint Kearns as having a grudge against the company. Says other inspectors gave them good ratings, but Kearns was out to get them.
But if Kearns was onto something, why was his wife covering for them?
That's the million-dollar question. And things get even weirder at the plant. Paula starts hallucinating on the processing line, sees Kearns' severed head among the chickens.
Whoa, that's messed up.
Totally. She gets agitated, attacks Harold with a knife, and then Sheriff Aarons shoots her dead.
Like right there in the plant.
Yep. No hesitation, like you said earlier, almost like silencing a witness.
Yeah.
And then there's the plant doctor, Vance Randolph. He's treated both Kearns and Paula for headaches and insomnia.
So they both had the same symptoms before they,
Exactly. And this is where things get really, really dark. During Paula's autopsy, Scully discovers she had Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease.
Creutzfeldt-Jakob. Isn't that the fatal brain disease? The one that's like mad cow, but in humans?
Yeah, that's the one. It's super rare and always fatal. But the kicker is, Mulder finds Paula's personnel file. Her birth year is listed as 1948, meaning she was 47, not in her 20s like everyone thought.
Hold on. So she had this horrible brain disease, and she looked decades younger than she was. What's the connection?
That's what they're trying to figure out. And then, wouldn't you know it, they run into a Chaco Chicken truck driver who's showing the same neurological symptoms as Kearns and Paula. He crashes, and it's bad.
Okay, so now it seems like something's definitely wrong with the chicken.
Gateway thinks so. She figures Kearns found something bad at the plant, got killed for it, and maybe his body ended up in the processing line contaminating the chickens.
But wouldn't there be a way bigger outbreak if that were true? I mean, Chaco Chicken is everywhere.
Exactly what Mulder argues. He thinks whatever's going on is localized, contained within Dudley itself.
So if it's not the chicken, what is it?
Well, Mulder has this hunch and convinces the sheriff to dredge the local river. They find a ton of human bones, including Kern's, identified by a steel pin in his leg.
Oh my God, so they were dumping bodies in the river.
That's not even the worst part. All the skulls are missing, and the bones look like they were boiled clean.
Boiled? Why would they? Oh no.
You don't think. It gets worse. Mulder finds something called pot polish on the bones, this smoothness from prolonged boiling. He does some digging and finds records of 87 disappearances in Dudley over the last 50 years. All outsiders, just passing through.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
I think Mulder's theory is that the people of Dudley have been practicing cannibalism, and that Paula and the truck driver got Creutzfeldt Jakob from eating, well, Kern's remains, specifically his brain tissue.
That's beyond horrific, but why? Why would they do that?
Mulder speculates it might be tied to Paula's youthful appearance. There are ancient beliefs about gaining power and extending lifespan by consuming human flesh.
But that's just folklore, right? Surely they don't actually believe that.
Hard to say for sure. But when they try to confirm Paula's real age, they find the town's birth records have been destroyed.
Oh, come on. That's way too convenient. So what happens next? Do they confront the townspeople?
Not quite. There's this tense meeting at Walter Chaco's mansion. He's the founder of Chaco Chicken and Paula's grandfather. Harold, the plant manager, is there, and Doris Kearns, too. And she basically admits to being involved in her husband's death. Chaco tells her to keep quiet, obstruct the investigation.
Wow, so it goes all the way to the top. But what about Doris? Did she just go along with it?
It seems like she might have had a change of heart. She calls Mulder, scared, saying she's in danger. Then the phone cuts off, and they hear sounds of an attack.
Oh no, she's dead, isn't she?
Sadly, yeah. Scully rushes to Doris's place, while Mulder decides to search Chaco's mansion. And what he finds there is, well, it confirms everything.
What does he find?
A photo of Chaco, looking incredibly young for his age, in a World War II airplane cockpit. A human skull labeled as belonging to the jailed tribe, Papua New Guinea. And then, in a locked cabinet, a collection of preserved human heads, including Kern's.
Oh God, that's insane. And what about Scully? Does she find Doris?
No, she walked into a trap. Chaco kidnapped her.
So what now? What's the end game here?
It all comes to a head at this horrifying town meeting around a huge bonfire. The townspeople are eating stew and, well, you can guess what's in it.
Don't even want to think about it. So what happens? Does Mulder find them?
He does, and it's wild. Chaco shows up with Scully as his prisoner. He starts yelling at the townspeople, blaming them for killing Doris, saying they weren't supposed to do that.
So he was calling the shots, the puppet master.
Seems like it. But then Harold sees his chance. He challenges Chaco, blames him for the Creutzfeldt Jakob outbreak. The townspeople, they're scared, desperate. They turn on Chaco and, well, they kill him.
Right there in front of everyone.
Yeah. The masked figure we saw earlier executes him. And then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Mulder shows up, guns blazing, and shoots the masked guy. Turns out it was Sheriff Aarons all along.
No way! The sheriff was in on it the whole time.
It's crazy, right? And Harold, he tries to shoot Mulder, but gets trampled by the fleeing mob. Total chaos.
So what happens in the end? Does anyone survive?
Mulder and Scully get out, obviously. But the town is pretty much finished. Chaco Chicken gets shut down, but there's no evidence of tainted chicken in the wider supply chain.
So it was all contained.
Seems that way. But 27 people in Dudley die from Creutzfeldt Jakob. And here's the final twist. Chaco, the mastermind, he was 93 years old when he died.
93. But he looked so much younger in that photo.
Right. Turns out, after his plane was shot down in World War II, he spent 6 months with the jail tribe in Papua New Guinea. They're a tribe known for cannibalism. He was the only survivor.
Oh my God, it all connects. He learned about their practices, brought them back to Dudley, and used Chaco Chicken as a cover. But why?
Maybe he believed it kept him young, gave him power, who knows. But the creepiest part, they never found his body.
You're kidding. What happened to it?
The implication, and it's a truly horrifying one, is that, well, he ended up as chicken feed in his own plant. The ultimate twisted irony.
That's messed up on so many levels. So what's the takeaway here? I mean, it's just a story, right?
Sure, it's fictional, but it touches on some very real, very dark aspects of humanity. The fear of death, the desire for immortality, the lengths people will go to for power. It makes you wonder, What secrets are hiding in plain sight, even in the most seemingly ordinary places?
Yeah, you know what? After this deep dive, I don't think I'll ever look at a bucket of fried chicken the same way again. Thanks for bringing this one to us. It's definitely one that'll stick with me. And for all of you listening out there, remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and sometimes it's a whole lot more disturbing.
Until next time, keep digging.